Well, you guys, this should come as no surprise because Jasleen is at it again. She's back to embarrassing her husband, but this time she is being straight up evil. I don't really know how else to describe it. As we know, Jasleen is the gift that keeps on giving, and at first I was really embarrassed for Akaash. I wanted her to stop, but at this point, why does it even matter anymore? She's already taken everything from him, his career, his dignity, and now his friendship, so why stop now? But first, before we get into today's story, I want to bring your attention to this interview that Akaash did on Hot 97. In this interview, he is throwing shade to different channels who have been talking about him and his bum-ass wife, saying there are now style pages dedicated to trashing them, and I suppose he could be talking about somebody else, but this is oddly specific. Truly, how many people do you know had style pages and are now doing commentary videos?
Big up Daddy Wells, I love the main character syndrome. Big up Daddy Wells, I love the main character syndrome. This is another reason why I don't really blow, you know? Another reason why I don't blow as much as people like this, you know? They believe, you know? They believe everything's about them, for real. Truly. Daddy Wells truly believes it's about her. Big up Daddy Wells. I am your inspiration. Which makes sense. They do kind of look similar. I think this lady, she's Hispanic, right? I think, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think she's Indian or anything, or Middle Eastern. I think she's Hispanic. I think so. But still.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe there's a ton of people who are doing commentary videos who used to have style pages, and I just don't know about them. And I don't want to sound delusional or full of myself, but I kind of feel like I got a little bit under Jasleen's skin, and she may have complained about me to her husband. It just seems like something she would do. Am I wrong? Because I know for a fact that Jasleen has seen my TikTok, okay? And back when I used to have a 9-to-5, I used to post little outfit videos on there just for fun. They were nothing crazy, nothing to brag about, but I had fun doing them. And eventually,
wow, she might be right, you know. Judging by this little carousel, they're quite similar, looking wise, isn't it? Huh? Is this girl Latina, or is she like South? What's that? South Asian? What is this girl? Do you think Latina or South Asian or Middle Eastern?
on there just for fun. They were nothing crazy, nothing to brag about, but I had fun doing them. And eventually I started posting other outfits and workout outfits and whatever. Now, I did still have these videos up on my TikTok when I started making videos about Jasleen and Akaash. And even though she tries to act so unbothered and that, you know, I'm just a hater and that I don't get under her skin, this clip would say otherwise.
Like, there's people who have criticized me or my wife who have like style pages, and all of a sudden they're doing political commentary, and it's like, well, how did you get here? Because your other sucked.
Well, you're right about one thing, Akaash. My last shit did suck. Well, anyways, looking back on this podcast that Akaash did on Hot 97, I rewatched it and he is still talking about being on Flagrant, which I find very odd because he knew at this point that he wasn't going to be going back to the Flagrant podcast, yet he was still talking as though he was going to be going back. And this is what I'm saying. This guy has absolutely no balls. He has no balls when it comes to standing up for himself. He has no balls when it comes to his wife. He has no balls when it comes to his friendships. He has no balls when it comes to business, because instead of showing up to the Flagrant podcast and breaking the news to his supporters, the people who have been paying his bills for the last however many years, who have been paying for his wife's shoe and bag collection, her shopping addiction, instead of having the respect and showing up to the podcast to say your goodbyes and thank your fans, no, instead, he doesn't show his face. He sends Andrew.
Thoughts and prayers go out to the fucking cab drivers, Uber drivers in New York who have to be forced into being props in influencers, fucking TikToks and whatever. Solidarity and support and blessings of patience, immense patience for drivers who have to sit around and wait for some influencer to film a little skit before they get into your car. Like, oh my god, it must be so annoying.
out there by himself to explain to the fans on his own why Akaash was not going to be coming back to the podcast. Why? Why couldn't Akaash join him? Why couldn't Akaash go for his final day and say goodbye to the fans? Why? Well, because Akaash has low testosterone and no balls.
Our boy Akaash, he really went through it earlier this year, showed amazing resilience.
Resilience? Is that what you want to call it? Resilience?
And, selling out Radio City recently, setting records in Toronto, just crushing stand-up around the globe, and literally just like living the dreams that he would tell me about at 2 a.m. when we're eating fucking egg sandwiches at Veselka. So it's been amazing to see, but the experience has put things in perspective for him. And he has made the decision to focus all of his energy on stand-up. He is going to be stepping away from the pod. It is bittersweet. We wish that he did not want to do that. But at the same time, it's very hard not to root for your friend, literally living his dreams. And if he feels he's got to give everything to that, then that's exactly what he's got to do. And we're going to rock with him. We hope you guys continue to rock with him. Go check out the show. We saw the show Radio City. It's phenomenal. You guys should absolutely go check it out. AkaashSingh.com. For tickets. So we just wanted to, clear the air. Akaash hasn't been on the pod for a while. We thought it was time that we, talk to you guys about it.
So that was the clip.
Personally, even now, so much time has gone by, I'd have a problem with it. I'd have a problem with with Schultz running cover for Akaash, even though he probably knew more than we do behind the scenes that him and Akaash no longer good. They didn't split on good terms at all. I don't have any problem with Schultz being the good friend and never kind of like besmirching his friend in public. I like that. I like that he put a good spin on it and didn't try to dogpile, didn't try to add to the stress, whatever's going on. I like that. I think I have no problem with that whatsoever. No problem with that whatsoever.
That was the clip where Andrew explained to the fans that Akaash was leaving the podcast. Now, I didn't find absolutely anything wrong with what Andrew said. I actually sat here for a few minutes rewatching it, trying to find something that he said that was wrong, and I was struggling to find anything that I would change about that statement. And you might be wondering, why would there be anything wrong with what he said? Why is that even a question? Well, because Jasleen's bitch-ass friend, you guys remember this fucking lame, the interviewer who spent the entire conversation glazing the living shit out of Jasleen while she insulted and trashed her husband's own fans, claiming they were all racist and right-wing, even though those very fans are the reason she's living such an incredibly privileged lifestyle. They're the ones funding the platform that allows her to shop every single goddamn day. But I mean, Jasleen has the self-awareness of a goldfish, so I don't even know why any of this shit's surprising anymore.
I remember her saying, though,
Ouch.
she was like, my biggest fear is getting canceled. And I remember telling her, I was like, I just want to let you know, like, I know the periphery of Akaash's fan base, which is, I will say, more of the podcast fan base. And I know a lot of people during like our controversy were saying like, oh, it's because of his fans. It's because of his fans. Like, his comedy fans are not like that. It's more the podcast fan base that I don't think really resonate with him, because a lot of them are like really racist and right wing. I think like those of them are more like that. But yeah, anyways, I said like those peripheral fans, like they might come at us just because we're brown girls being opinionated and they don't like opinionated women.
Yeah. Right. Just because you're raunchy and trashy and disgusting doesn't mean you're opinionated. Those two things are not the same. But anyway, so this Indian guy, was talking about Andrew on his podcast and saying that he had a problem with the way Andrew delivered this information, with the way he explained to the fans that, Akaash wasn't going to be coming back. Well, then, you know what? Then fucking Akaash should have gotten his pussy little ass out there himself and delivered the information himself. How about that? Because when you're too pussy and ungrateful and can't even come on your own podcast to say goodbye to your fans and make your co-host do it, then you can't really complain about what is said, can you? Anyways, this whole clip pisses me off so much, and I'm going to show it to you in just a second, but I am assuming that since this guy is like, all buddy with Jasleen, we saw on the podcast where he was waist deep.
When a girl calls you a pussy, it hurts way worse than it. It hurts way more, doesn't it? When a girl calls you a pussy, when a girl calls you a coward, it hurts way more. Don't know why, but it just does.
up her asshole. I'm assuming that they share the same feelings about this whole situation.
Andrew and Flagrant made a statement saying that Akaash is no longer a part of Flagrant podcast. And I had a problem with their statement.
Oh no, did you? No, why?
You got to address the elephant in the room, no pun intended. As I'm sure you guys are aware, our boy Akaash, he really went through it earlier this year, showed amazing resilience. He's made the decision to focus all of his energy on stand-up.
My issue with Andrew's statement is this. I just don't like adding the context.
That hat is so corny too, by the way. That hat is so corny. Brand creative. That hat is so corny. That hat is so corny.
Of he's been through a lot.
What do you mean? He's been through more than a lot. Can you imagine what he had to go through this year with his wife being Jasleen, a woman who literally ruined your life, ruined your name, ruined your career, ruined your reputation, ruined your friendships, and still refuses to stop? You don't think that's going through a lot? In fact, him saying Akaash went through a lot is putting it mildly. You don't have a problem with anything Jasleen said, but you have a problem with Andrew's statement. Okay. All right. Makes sense.
Because to me, the way that I interpreted that, if I didn't know nothing about nothing and I wasn't familiar with the situation, I would think he's saying, yo, the internet shit was too much for Akaash and he walked away.
It was. What do you mean? Why do you think he didn't even show his face the last day to say goodbye to his fans? Why was he too pussy to come in and say goodbye?
For me, when you're dealing with a delicate announcement like this, I think less is always more. The more you deliver to an audience, the more they can misinterpret and run with it and start spinning their own narrative. Obviously, everybody wants to stay PC, but they do little subtle jabs at people when they say their goodbyes. And I feel like, I'm not saying this is the case here, but I'm saying the more you put out there, the more people can interpret it as either something negative or passive aggressive.
Jabs? What about that was jabs? Are these guys okay? Did we watch the same video?
That's kind of how I read that.
Yeah.
Like, that's how because I...
Oh God, I just read his hat. You guys know how Jasleen always says that she's a strong, independent brown girl. She's an opinionated brown girl. I just read his hat. Brown creative. Oh, Jesus Christ.
agree. I think that less is more because as soon as you give anybody anything,
It's ammo.
because here's the thing, based off of that statement,
Yeah.
we got motherfuckers like academics and all the other internet heads that are like, Akaash left because his wife made the internet hot. And again, some could argue that no matter what Andrew said, they were gonna run with this anyway, right?
Right.
And put two and two together.
Well, if that's the case, then why bother saying it at all?
Exactly.
No, exactly. Why the fuck didn't Akaash come and say his goodbyes himself then, bitch? Why did he make Andrew do it for him? And then you motherfuckers are sitting there complaining about it. Then
I love how much she hates. I love how passionately she hates. I love how much she hates, and I love how passionately she hates. Look at Daddy Wells.
why didn't Akaash do it himself then, huh? You should be complaining to him about how rude it was that he didn't go up there and say thank you and say goodbye to his fans who have been supporting him and supporting his fucking wife's shopping fund the last however many years. Okay, now that is fucking rude.
Here's the thing. Andrew is a master at the internet. You should know that.
So yeah, I mean, it's so pathetic that these people are complaining that Andrew didn't do a good enough job when Akaash couldn't even be bothered to go up there and say his goodbyes on his own and explain the situation because he's too much of a pussy boy fuck. And if you needed any more evidence that things aren't exactly peachy behind the scenes, just look at Akaash as of recent.
Jesus Christ, bro. I know depression eating. I've been there, bro. I know when you're eating your side. I know what's that? Look at his face. He's so swollen. Wow, I know sadness eating when I see it. I know sadness eating when I see it. Fucking hell. Akaash ate Akaash. Look at him. He's massive, man. Bless. Jasleen is destroying this man's life single-handedly. You can't see it. This woman is destroying his life and he just can't see it.
Just look at Akaash as of recent. As someone pointed out in the comment section, it looks like he's been stress eating. He recently appeared on a news station in Hawaii to promote his show, and people couldn't stop commenting on how puffy and exhausted.
I'm loyal to a default.
From one brown creative to another. Brownie to brownie. This ain't it, champ. Get in the gym and lay off the cupcakes.
I can't blame him though. I can't blame him. What else you meant to do? If your wife is Jasleen, what else you meant to do? Don't have the courage to fucking leave her. The best you can do is just eat. Fuck, you know, I've been there, man. I've been there. I know what that is. Wow. Love and light to fucking Akaash. You did it yourself. You only got yourself to blame, but hope you get better.
Exhausted he looked. Meanwhile, Jasleen, of course, seems to be thriving, posting bikini photos and soaking up all the attention.
Yeah, she's literally, whilst Akaash is going through his worst time of his life, mentally and physically, Jasleen seems like she's going through her best time of her life, isn't it? She's got an assistant. She's looking the most snatched she's ever looked, right? Isn't it funny? Akaash is literally going through the worst time of his life, physically, mentally, whatever. Maybe that's probably good for him in his career. While Jasleen is thriving. She got signed to an agency. She's got a fucking assistant. She's posting more and more TikToks. She don't give a fuck. She don't give a fuck.
Whether the weight gain is stress related or not, Akaash looks like he's been carrying the weight of everything that's been going on, pun intended, while Jasleen, of course, appears to be loving destroying every aspect of Akaash's life. So anyway, sure.
That's the thing. I don't even think she cares about destroying his life. I just think she's looking after herself. That's what makes it even more sick. I don't think she's even thinking about destroying his life. I just think she's just in it for herself. That's what makes it worse, you know? She probably didn't even notice what Akaash looks like. She doesn't care. She just focus on herself. She's not actively trying to destroy him. She's just doing what she wants, which is obviously destroying him.
Shortly after this, Akaash unfollowed Andrew on Instagram, which is just the most petty, childish shit ever. But it's also really sad because Akaash and Andrew have been friends for over 20 something years before Jasleen was even in the picture. And you know how Akaash and Jasleen love to pull at people's heartstrings and share their bullshit ass story about how they've been together through thick and thin when they were broke and they had no money and they were curling up with a North Face jacket, all this bullshit, right? Well, actually, Akaash and Andrew were the original ride or dies. They were actually the ones who were together, who had been friends before when they were actually broke. And Andrew is the one who was there for him before anybody in the industry even wanted to give him a chance. Andrew befriended Akaash and gave him opportunity on top of opportunity on top of opportunity. So many things in Akaash's life that he has to be thankful for are because of Andrew. They came up together, so it's really sad to see their friendship deteriorate. So, I mean, come on. We're all using our common sense here, and we all know or are assuming that the reason Akaash unfollowed Andrew is because of Jasleen, because she probably said something about it. She probably had a problem with it. She probably doesn't like Andrew anymore, and she was all up in Akaash's ear, whispering, chatting shit about Andrew, and then Akaash unfollowed him. Because then Jasleen also unfollowed a bunch of Akaash's friends, and they also unfollowed DJ Academics.
Oh, chat. Chat, I feel hurt, man. I don't know. I hope this is a mistake. Yo, chat. So I'm watching one of my favorite podcasts. You know, everybody know I'm a Flagrant 2 junkie. I love my Flagrant 2. I told y'all, you know, I was very saddened. It was like my cat passed away. I don't have a cat, by the way. My man Akaash Singh, he is no longer with the show, and I'm perusing the Flagrant Reddit because, you know, usually I find some good information there. You know, I like to know the inner workings of the show, and I'm scrolling down, and I see this. It says Akaash doesn't follow Andrew anymore. So I'm like, no, that can't be true. So I went to Instagram, and I checked. And I realized he actually doesn't follow Andrew anymore. But even worse, forget Andrew. Nigga, he ain't follow me no more. Yo, Akaash, I apologize. I'm here to publicly apologize to Akaash. Akaash unfollowed me, so I hit Grand. I'm like, yo, Grand, did you see? Because Akaash followed all of us. Akaash followed me, Grand, everybody. Everybody got, the feds did a sweep. Akaash has unfollowed us all. Me, Andrew, Gran. Gran hit me, was like, even the wife was following me. She unfollowed my ass too. I'm like, oh! I want to sincerely put out an apology. I don't know if maybe I've made some jokes. I'm not a comedian, but I try to, Akaash, I love you. I do. You know, people were discussing your situation. Trust me. All things given, I think everyone went a little light. We love you. Come be friends with us again, man. I don't know. Like, he disappeared from my favorite podcast. Now he doesn't follow me. I'm not going to unfollow you. I'm telling you now, Akaash, I love you. I'm not going to unfollow you. And anything people ever said about you is because they love you. I know it might not seem that way, but we love you. Okay? And we're going to keep following you till. Yes, we love you. Okay? I want to send prayers to my man Akaash. I know he's been through it this year, and you know it's probably not the best situations, but I don't think people commented on him ever meant ill will towards him. But I do want to. I realize that we all got unfollowed. Yo, you don't even got to follow Andrew Schultz back. I think Schultz must have did something. But follow me back. Yo, Big Act. Yeah, everybody love Big Act. Come on. Let's get back on. Oh, man. Damn. It hurt my feelings for a little bit. It hurt my feelings. I don't know. I like Akaash.
So, yeah, he was upset about it because he's...
Is it me? But the timing of it seems a bit weird because I felt like... So Akaash and Jasleen go on flagrant to clear the air. I felt like Andrew was way more, let's say, if you're going to be offended at what Andrew was saying about your relationship, about your marriage, you would be more offended at what Andrew was saying or like, you know, hinting at when they were sat down in the studio together. Andrew was being a lot more flagrant and a lot more like, you know, cheeky when Jasleen was on the show with Akaash. So I always find it weird that Akaash would unfollow Schultz after the whole Brilliant Idiots episode with Charlamagne, where Charlamagne said, "Don't let your wife have a podcast." Like, surely that show where Jasleen's on the show and, you know, Schultz is kind, I won't say grilling her, but kind of, you know, making her look a bit dumb, will be more offensive than the other one with fucking Charlamagne. It's strange. It's interesting how quickly his tone or his temperature with those guys changed. Akaash went from being okay with these friends to suddenly hating them. Jasleen must have him wrapped around his finger, man. Wrapped around her finger tight.
He's an adult. This is so childish. Adult men do not unfollow each other over petty ass bullshit, especially when it has to do with your wife. I mean, of course, you're going to protect your wife, but I'm saying, dude, nobody's going to listen to their wife when they say like, oh, unfollow him, because that shit's petty, dude. Grow up. So anyways, for most normal people, this is very sad. It's always very true. I don't know if you guys have ever lost a friend before or like really close with somebody and then you guys are no longer friends, but it's always really sad. I would say personally, it's almost like a breakup. It's like breaking up with somebody who you've been...
I'm always going to die on the hill. I think friendship breakups are worse than relationship breakups. I know relationship breakups, you know, boyfriend, girlfriend, fiance, whatever, husband and wife, whatever. I personally think friendship breakups, especially the ones where like you, not the ones where like you drift apart, but the actual one where like something happens and you stop talking to each other, or like someone says, fuck you, don't talk to me again. Friendship breakups hurt way more, in my opinion, than relationship breakups. It's not even close. It's not even close how much friendship breakups hurt. They hurt way more. Especially nowadays where like you get like a visual representation of your end of your relationship with somebody when they unfollow you or block you. Oof. Like a friend, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, you know what I mean? A friend. Oof. Like that's a brother or sister. Oof. That shit hurts. Deeply.
In a relationship with for a really long time. It's so sad. It hurts just as much as like any other heartbreak, especially when you have been friends with somebody for so long. But for somebody like Jasleen, who keeps her man on a leash and likes to bitch him around, she revels in this kind of stuff. She loves this. In fact, this gutter trash bitch has been laughing about it, posting...
I love how much she hates, honestly. I aspire to hate on this level. But I'm too Christian. I'm too pussified, as she says. I've been brought up too well. I've been brought up too scared. I can't hate like this, you know? I don't have the ability to go all the way. I love how she hates.
on a leash and likes to bitch him around, she revels in this kind of stuff. She loves this. In fact, this gutter trash bitch has been laughing about it, posting Instagram stories and making fun of this whole situation. Just absolutely relishing in the fact that her husband lost his best friend of 20-something years. Just so wild. But she posted like a Q&A on her Instagram story, and somebody asked her if Akaash and Andrew were still friends, and she responded by posting this clip from the Obsession movie where the actress is saying like, no, 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 like super dramatic, just saying no over and over again. Let's watch this clip really quick. I think it explains it.
To make matters worse, Jasleen took to social media to gloat about the split. When a fan directly asked her if Andrew and Akaash were still on good terms, she posted a smug, condescending movie clip to confirm that the friendship is completely dead. She's out here playing the ultimate victim, claiming she was digitally violated just because media platforms covered the public statements she chose to make.
Oh yeah, and then she posted this other statement on her Instagram story that is so wild. I can't make any sense of it. Let me know what you guys think. So she said, I really try to remember that everything works out the way it's supposed to be. And she posted like that hand and like the evil eye emoji. Rejection is redirection. Of course, it's easier said than done when people were digitally essaying her. Of course, it's easier said than done when people were
Have you heard that term before? I'm on a lot of different Twitters and social media feeds. I don't know if I've ever heard somebody say the term or the phrase digital sexual assault. I've never heard it in my life. Digital sexual assault? What?
digitally essaying me and continue to do so. What the? This crazy bitch, dude. What does that even mean? But that experience made me. What the? This crazy bitch, dude. What does that even mean? But that. What the? This crazy bitch, dude. What does that even mean? But that experience made me and my husband so much stronger, showed us who our real friends are, and made us see fame more clearly. I think sometimes the bad things that happen to you end up giving you perspective and blah, blah, blah. Who cares, right? What is she talking about? She's saying that Akaash's friends are digitally essaying her by simply talking about the situation. Bitch, you put this shit on the internet. You were talking about popping your pussy. You were talking about hooking up with a roster of frat boys. You were talking about guys going down on you when you're on your period. What do you mean? Who was digitally essaying you? You were digitally popping your pussy. That's what you were doing. You were digitally popping that cooter, and now you want to blame everyone else for it. Guys, I just could not get over this. This was the craziest shit I've ever heard. This bitch is an even bigger weirdo than I originally thought. I had never heard this term before, so I had to ask ChatGPT what digital SA means, and this is what it says. It generally refers to things like sending unwanted illicit images, coercing someone into sharing intimate photos, threatening to share private messages, or online grooming. I'm sorry, isn't this the same bitch who was saying sexually explicit things directly to her friend's husband?
Salute. What a great point. What a great fucking point. What a great fucking point.
And right in front of her, talking about wanting an orgy and how big his dick was and how his face card never declines. This woman was legit sexually harassing this man on her podcast, and now she's crying about being digitally SA'd. Are we being gaslit right now? This is some wild shit. She says this whole thing helped her see fame more clearly. So pathetic, because even after this whole thing blew up, she was still on that idiot guy's podcast saying that she wants to be famous. She wants to be a household name, and like this is all helping her become famous, like become a famous wag that's known for shopping.
Honestly, my goals, like I love the tennis wags. Like I love Morgan Riddle, Paige Lorenz. I love a lot of the white girl creators because of their aesthetic and like the businesses they've built. So I love my brown girl community. But I don't want to be pigeonholed into just like South Asian girls. Like I want to be for all kinds of brown girls. And
all lives matter. All lives matter. Social media influencer, of course. Of course she's one of those ones. Of course she's one of those ones. She rid that fucking brown girl thing until the walls fall off. She squeezed that brown girl sponge for as much as she could get out of it. It's now dry. Now she wants to be for all. Now she wants to be for all colours and races. Of course, typical.
want my content to reach the masses and just be a household name in that space and kind of be like the luxury brown comedy wag girl.
I did have to look up what a wag was. I guess it's like a wife or a girlfriend of usually athletes. So she just wants to be like a famous wife. Okay, that's what she wants to be known for, is being a famous wife and going shopping and spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on bags. That's what she wants to be known for. She must have recently gotten an assistant because she's been making video after video talking nonstop about her assistant, and she never used to talk about this previously. This is like a new thing for her. Like every time she gets something new, she has to come onto TikTok and rub it in everyone's faces and brag about it. Like when she gets a new pair of shoes, of course she has to do a video about it. If she gets a new bag, she has to do an unboxing. So I think she recently got an assistant because she's been bringing it up in every single video.
My assistant Kiana helped us secure mangoes shipped from India. We are cleaning through my closet and Kiana has some very strong opinions.
I just have to ask.
Imagine having an assistant to sort out your wardrobe and to order mangoes from India. You really need an assistant to source mangoes from India in New York. A multicultural place like New York, you couldn't find those yourself. You had to have an assistant do that for you. You're too busy. What do? She doesn't cook, she doesn't clean, doesn't have kids, right? She's not the most like trad wife in the world. What else? Why are you so, why do you need help? You have all the time in the world, you don't do jack shit. Like, huh? An assistant? She is rinsing Akaash's wallet, bro. Akaash's wallet is getting absolutely demolished.
Why the fuck does this bitch need an assistant? You guys, she has bragged in multiple videos that she doesn't cook or clean because she doesn't like to. She doesn't work. She doesn't do jack shit.
I don't cook, I don't clean, and I don't do my husband's laundry.
Why does she need an assistant to buy her mangoes and clean out her closet? Oh, you know what? It's probably a hand job assistant because she said she likes to outsource hand jobs. I bet you that's what it is. So actually, never mind. That actually makes sense. That's
ouch.
Practical. I take it back. I take it back, Jasleen. That makes sense now. Okay.
But how come you can have a joke about outsourcing hand jobs and blow jobs?
But aren't you cool with the hand jobs?
Yeah.
You're cool with him just getting a hand job massage?
Totally.
Are you
Yeah, I know.
Yes. I've said that it's less work for me.
I don't. This is. I don't.
But yeah, as you can see, she's throwing
so lazy. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just different, but hearing my wife talking about it make my dick shrivel. Hearing my wife talking about it make my fucking dick shrivel. It would make my legitimate, I don't know. Make my balls shrivel up into the size of peas, you know? Like chickpeas or something. Like, wow. Wow.
shade to Akaash's friends, saying, oh, we learned who our real friends are, insinuating that the friends Akaash has been friends with for 20-something years are not his real friends, the ones who helped him come up before he even met you, the ones who literally gave him so many opportunities, those are not his real friends. So anyways, after all of this, people have been speculating as to what could have made Akaash quit the podcast and unfollow Andrew. Jasleen. And many people are pointing to this clip of Andrew talking with Charlemagne on the Brilliant Idiots podcast as the moment that explains why Akaash and Andrew's friendship began to deteriorate.
Why does your wife have a microphone in her face? Do not allow your wife to start a podcast, bro.
Yes.
Okay, there can be one entertainer in this family, and it shall be me. I'm the comedian. I'm out here on this road, and I'm out here getting the money. Let me use some of this money to help you do some other things, yo. Because you don't need a microphone in your face because you going to around and ruin us. All right, not just you, us.
But go watch the episode.
Yes,
we had a great talk with Akaash and Jasleen, and it was awesome, and it was very funny.
Because I don't want to have to explain. Because that's my wife. I'm gonna always have my wife's back.
Yes,
You
as
know
you
what I'm
should.
saying? But guess what?
And so much of this was bullshit. And then there are things
Tell
that
me
she
what was
said.
bullshit.
She was a virgin. She was never a whore.
So that video of her talking about sleeping with a bunch of men was not real?
She never said she slept with it. She said I was popping my
frat parties, and she's a sheltered Indian girl who thought that meant dancing. And then the rest of us were like, what the do you really mean by that? So we had that conversation. But like all like her being a whore completely out of context. Like,
well, didn't she talk about?
Say it. We discussed everything on the pod.
Didn't she talk about sucking cocks?
No.
She never said that? There was never a video about that?
She said that Akaash's balls smell like a homeless person.
Not Steph Curry with the shot, boy.
They call her chicken curry.
God damn. Why would she say that?
That's a good point. So we had those conversations.
What the?
So watch the episode.
My brothers.
Clears up a lot of
my brothers.
And also she just acknowledges like, yo, that was stupid. Like I shouldn't be there. I can see why the audience thought it was this thing. Like there was a lot of
delete the podcast.
Delete ours?
No more influence. No, I'm talking about her.
Oh, we're working on it.
No.
And I just have to say, if
I don't know if it is true, because people that's the theory, right? The running theory on the work. I think Abba and Preach may be the ones that put the evidence out there. So big up Abba and Preach. I think I may have seen this first on Abba and Preach, but people are saying that the reason why Akaash unfollowed and properly doesn't fuck with Andrew Schultz anymore is because of that episode with Charlemagne. But like I said earlier, like I would argue Schultz and the rest of his crew or Flagrant was saying way worse quote unquote mean things about Jasleen when she was there than what Charlemagne said. Like if you were going to get offended, you should have got offended at what they were saying in front of your wife while you were there and about what they were saying about you. Plus the way that he was looking all depressed and shit. Like it's weird that he would get offended by that, but he wasn't offended when Schultz was making the jokes in front of him and his wife. I'm like, yeah, it's a strange time to decide, you know what, fuck them. But, you know, who knows?
this truly is the reason for all of this, for Andrew and Akaash no longer being friends, then that is extremely petty. I mean, I knew Akaash was soft as baby shit, but I didn't think he was that soft. I mean, that's crazy because he didn't say anything disrespectful. In fact, I was actually annoyed because he kept on defending Jasleen, and I just had to realize that, you know, Akaash is one of his best friends, so of course he's going to defend Jasleen. But in my opinion, they went extremely soft on this whole situation. I don't know if like Jasleen and Akaash just expect them to not talk about the situation.
Yeah, Academics made that point too. Like, his friends went really soft on him. I mean, his friends were really funny, went really soft on him. Appreciate it.
I'm loyal to default.
Akaash was stuck between a rock and a hard place, stuck with his terrible wife or stuck slapping that couch cheerleading Schultz. May that dichotomy never find me.
That's a good point. When you put it like that, that's a very, very good point. That's a very, very good point. Can I do even a poll here? I can't, can I? No. That's a very, very good point. What would you rather? Slap the couch, continue slapping the couch with Schultz? 1, or 2, stick with Jasleen? What would you rather in the stream chat? Let me know in the stream chat. 1's for continue to slap the couch to earn your living, or 2, roll the dice, quit the pod and stick with Jasleen for 2. Schultz for 1, Jasleen for 2. Continue slapping the couch for 1. Occasionally getting to slap cheeks with Jasleen too. What would you rather?
Situation at all, which is crazy because at this time everyone in the world was talking about it, and they have a podcast. Come on, this is what they do. They talk about things going on and, you know, current events in a comedic way. So to expect them to not talk about it would be really insane. And what's crazier is that Andrew has literally had Akaash's back throughout this whole thing. He even did that one flagrant episode with Jasleen trying to clean up her image. So I just don't understand why this would be Andrew's fault. He's literally done nothing but help them clean up this whole situation that literally Jasleen started. She created this entire mess. So maybe Akaash should stop blaming his friends for his wife's public image, and I don't know, maybe look at the source of the problem instead. Hello? And please, for heaven's sake, find your fucking balls. I beg of thee. You have already allowed this woman to ruin your career, ruin your reputation, ruin your image, and now now you're allowing her to ruin your friendships, your long-term friendships, because she has decided to post stupid ass shit on the internet. Put your goddamn foot down, please, before it's too late, before she divorces you, because we all know
it's too late.
It's going to happen sooner or later. And when she does, you're literally going to have nothing left. You're not going to have any money because she's going to spend it all on
Whole sea of ones in the chat. Big up the ones. Whole sea of ones.
bags and fucking shoes. You're not going to have your career because it's already tarnished, and you're not going to have any friends by your side because of her. She's ruined everything in her life. Put your foot down, dude. Find your balls and put your foot down. This is so pathetic to even see at this point. This is torture. Like, people pity you, dude. People pity this guy. It is so pathetic. Him and his wife are literally the laughing stock of the internet, and still they don't see it. They think it's everyone else's fault. They want to blame everybody else. They even want to blame Akaash's friends now, which is fucking insane. But dude, like, look at the source of the problem. But anyways, you guys, thank you so much for watching. Please like this video if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Take care.
Daddy Wells, man. Brilliant video. Daddy Wells.